Yogi Roth has spent plenty of time around quarterbacks, from coaching QBs at USC under head coach Pete Carroll, and now as a coach with the Elite 11 camp, which features the top high school quarterbacks in the nation. Over the years, Roth began noticing all outside pressure and hype being placed on five-star quarterbacks, which led to his latest book. Here's our Jaime Maggio now with more.
You've written books, you've been published before, but why this book about this topic?
To me, I've been in this quarterback thing for almost 20 years now, and the players and the parents continue to ask the same questions. And as myself and the co-author Yogi Roth sat back, we're like, we have to do something about this. We have to offer them some advice. So we said, what if we created a book that served as a tribe of mentors for anybody, whether you're a walk-on like I was, or you're a five-star quarterback like Caleb Williams at SC, and everything in between. Like, you need guidance. You can't Google how to be a recruitable athlete or how to be the parent of a recruitable athlete. So we're like, let's pour into it, and not just hear from us, but hear from experts like Pete Carroll and Lincoln Riley and Chip Kelly, and also hear from the guys who've lived it. And that to me was the jumping off point of saying, all right, let's throw down. It took 3 years, but we're here with the book.
What is a five-star quarterback? How did they come up with that?
But any recruiting service basically says, if you, Jamie, can change a franchise, you are considered a five-star quarterback. So to do that, you have to be talented to make it to the next level or levels, thriving in college or thriving in the NFL. There's been 134 quarterbacks at some point in their path, for a week or for 5 years, are named a five-star quarterback. They have to live up to an expectation that somebody else threw on them. And then the reality is nobody ever lives up to the hype. It just doesn't happen. When you put those two things together, you don't feel bad. You're excited for the individual who has that honor and those opportunities. But there's also like some front loading of tools that everybody needs to have when they go into that, so they don't end up in rehab. They don't commit suicide. Like, those are real things that athletes are dealing with. And I don't know if we're going to save anybody from those things, but I think we're going to give them some opportunities to explore them prior to getting in that arena where others are always judging them.
Why do you think there's more awareness now than ever before that that's necessary?
Anyone that I've talked to in the space of mental performance would say you can train three things: your body, okay, your craft, check, and your mind. How many hours a week are dedicated to all three? Right. Majority to the first two. So we just want to have the conversation. And that's why I think we really pulled out a lot of these stories. And in this book, 54 quarterbacks are interviewed. That some have started, some have thrived, some haven't played, but they all talked about their journey of getting benched, winning the job, committing to a school, going to a new school. And I think all of their collective stories, from Josh Rosen to Jimmy Clausen to Caleb Williams to Bo Nix, to guys that played way back in the day like Mark Sanchez and Matt Barkley, like, I just think they unearth a lot to open up dialogue between parent, child, coach, recruit, teammate. And that's what we just want to be. And I've always just wanted to be a nudge to conversation, and I think the book does that.
What are you hoping that people will take away from this book? Not necessarily the high school quarterbacks, but the average fan.
That they're all humans, and they're flawed. They all don't make it. Some of them do, some of them stumble, most of them will. But they all have the character trait to pick back up, and I think there's something you could pull back from this book that I think will inspire all of us, whether you're, an athlete, an actor, a teacher, a comic, whatever it is that you're into. I think something can light you up.
The key phrase there for me was need guidance. That's what we all should have, and we need guidance.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I think a lot of times as I cover all these high school athletes, sometimes we forget they still got homework. Mm-hmm. They still got to walk through the hallways at school. They still have prom and winter formal. There's so many different aspects to a teenager on top of the exclusive athlete that's trying to go to college and be a five-star athlete, then all the pressures that come with that. So I think it's a very insightful book there.